दंडवत प्रणाम।
हरे कृष्णा। एक्सपायरी क्या है?
This end of the year, you have to sign it. Okay. And that's it.
Okay, I'm just opening the verse. Sorry.
Okay.
The repetitive activities is following the element. Okay, what verse are we doing today?
28, Mataji.
Oh, thank you very much, Prabhu. What's just came from work. So, okay, I think we can start. Thank you. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jyaudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavate Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamashloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtaki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, chapter 28, verse number 28. Okay, go ahead, Prabhu. Venkat Narasimha Prabhu, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Tatrapi hava atmano mrugatva karanam bhagavadaradhana samiha anubhavena anusmutya brumsam anutapyamana. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Chitra Mohini Mataji.
Mataji, can you hear me? Because I can't hear you.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Tatrapi hava atmano mrugatva karanam bhagavat aradhana samiha anubhavena anusmrutyam brusham anutapyamanaha. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Madhumai Krishna Kant Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी।
Krishna.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। तत्रापि हावा आत्मनः मृगत्वकारणं भगवत् आराधनसमीह अनुभवेन अनुस्मृत्या भृशम् अनुतप्यमानः आह। थैंक यू।
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Anjali Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। तत्र अपि ह वा आत्मनः मृगत्व कारणं भगवत आराधन समीहा अनुभावेन अनुस्मृत्य वृषम अनुतप्य मानः आह। हरे कृष्ण।
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Vijay Kumari Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी। तत्राभिहव आत्मनो बृहत्व कारणं भगवत् आराधना समेह अनुभावने अनुस्मृत्य पुरुषम अनुदप्य मान आह। हरे कृष्ण माताजी। थैंक यू
Thank you.
माताजी।
Surya Prakash Rao Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्ण माता दंडवत प्रणाम। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। तत्रापि हवा आत्मनो मृगत्व कारणं भगवताराधन समीहम् अनुभवेनामस्पृजच्च वृषम् अमतप्यमान आहा। हरे कृष्ण माता।
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Reena Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Sangat Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
तत्रापि हव आत्मनो मृगत्वकारणं भगवत् आराधन समिहानु भावेनानु अनुस्मृत्य भृशमनुतपयमान आह।
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Prafulla Mataji. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी। प्रणाम माताजी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। तत्रापि हव आत्मनो मृगत्व कारणं भगवत आराधन समीह अनुभावेन अनुस्मृत्य वृषमनुतप्यमान आह। हरे कृष्ण माताजी। थैंक यू माताजी।
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Shubha Rao Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम।
Pranam.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। तत्रापि हवा आत्मनो मृगत्व कारणं भगवदाराधना समीहा सुखावेनानुस्मृत्या भृशमनुतप्यमानाः.
Thank you, Krishna. Tatrarpiha va atmano mrigatva karanam bhagavat aradhana sami ha anubhava anusmritya bhrisham anuta payamana aha. Tatra api, in that birth, hava, indeed, atmanaha, of himself, mrigatva karanam, the cause of accepting the body of a deer. Bhagavat Aradhana Samiha, of past activities in devotional service, Anubhavena, by consequence, Anusmritya, remembering, Prisham, always, Anutapya, Manaha, repenting, Aha, said. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Although in the body of a deer, Bharat Maharaj, due to his rigid devotional service in his past life, could understand the cause of his birth in that body. Considering his past and present life, he constantly repented his activities, speaking in the following way. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. This is a special concession for a devotee. Even if he attains a body that is non-human, by the grace of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he advances further in devotional service, whether by remembering his past life or by natural causes. It is not easy for a common man to remember the activities of his past life. But Bharat Maharaj could remember his past activities due to his great sacrifices and engagement in devotional service. Okay, let's do one more. Who wants to read this verse who hasn't read anything? Is Revati Mataji not coming nowadays? Okay, I can. Okay, Shubhara Prabhuji. Then we can read the purport. Go ahead, please.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी. तदानीमपि पार्श्ववर्तिनमात्मा तदानीमपि पार्श्ववर्तिनम्.
What verse are you reading?
Next, Prabhuji, 29,
29.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
29, no.
You're looking at the screen, right?
Yes. Aho kashtam भ्रष्टोहमात्मव तामनुपधाद्यद्वि मुक्त समस्त संगस्य विविक्त पुण्यारण्य शरण स्यात्मवत आत्मनि सर्वेषामात्मानां भगवति वासुदेवे तदनुश्रवण मनन संकीर्तनाराधनानुस्मरणाभि योगेन शून्य सकलयामेन कालेन समावेशितं समाहितं कात्स्येन मनस्तस्तु पुनर्ममा बुधस्यारान्मृग सुतमनु परिसुश्रावा. Hare Krishna Mata.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. I'm going to proceed, okay? Aho kashtam, alas, what a miserable condition of life. Prashtaha, fallen. Aham, I am. Atmavatam, oh, of great devotees who have achieved perfection. Anupathat, from the way of life. Yat, from which vimukta samashta sangasya, although having given up the association of my real sons and home. Vivikta, solitary. Punya aranya, of a sacred forest. Sharanasya, who had taken shelter. Atmavataha, of one who had become perfectly situated on the transcendental platform. Atmani, in the super soul. Sarvesham, of all. Atmanam, living entities. Bhagavati, onto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vasudeve, Lord Vasudev. Tat, of him. Anushravana, constantly hearing. Manana, thinking. Sankirtan, chanting. Aradhana, worshipping. Anusmarana, constantly remembering. Abhiyogena, by absorption. Ashunya, filled. Sakala yamena, in which all the hours. Kalena, by time. Samaveshitam, fully established. Samahitam, fixed. Kartasneyena, totally. Manaha, the mind in such a situation. Tat, that mind. Tu but punaham again, mama of me, abuddhasya, a great fool, arat, from a great distance, Mrigasutam, the son of a deer, Anu, being affected by Parushishrava, fell down. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In the body of a deer, Bharat Maharaj began to lament, what misfortune! I have fallen from the path of self-realized. I gave up my real sons, wife, and home to advance in spiritual life, and I took shelter in a solitary holy place in the forest. I became self-controlled and self-realized, and I engaged constantly in devotional service, hearing, thinking, chanting, worshipping, and remembering the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva. I was successful in my attempt, so much so that my mind was always absorbed in devotional service. However, due to my personal foolishness, my mind again became attached, this time to a deer. Now I have obtained the body of a deer and have fallen far from my devotional practices. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Due to his stringent execution of devotional service, Maharaj Bharat could remember the activities of his past life and now how he was raised to the spiritual platform. Due to his foolishness, he became attached to an insignificant deer and thus fell down and had to accept the body of a deer. This is significant for every devotee. If we misuse our position and think that we are fully engaged in devotional service and can do whatever we like, we have to suffer like Bharat Maharaj and be condemned to accept the type of body that impairs our devotional service. Only the human form is able to execute devotional service. But if we voluntarily give this sub-person's qualification, we certainly have to be punished. This punishment is not exactly like that endured by an ordinary materialistic person. By the grace of the Supreme Lord, a devotee is punished in such a way that his eagerness to attain the lotus feet of Lord Vasudeva is increased. By his intense desire, he returns home in the next lifetime. Devotional service is very completely described here. Tad anushravana, manana, sankirtana, aradhana, anusmarana, abhiyogena. The constant hearing and chanting of the glories of the Lord is recommended in Bhagavad Gita. Satatam kirtayanto ma yatantascha dhrida vrataha. Those who have taken to Krishna consciousness should be very careful that not a single moment is wasted and not a single moment is spent without chanting and remembering the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his activities. By his own actions and by the actions of his devotees, Krishna teaches us how to become cautious in devotional service. Through a medium of Bharat Maharaj, Krishna teaches us that we must be careful in the discharge of devotional service. If we want to keep our minds completely fixed without deviation, we must engage them in devotional service full time. As far as the members of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness are concerned, they have sacrificed everything to push on this Krishna consciousness movement. Yet they must take a lesson from the life of Bharat Maharaj to be very cautious and to see that not a single moment is wasted in frivolous talk, sleep, or voracious eating. Eating is not prohibited, but if we eat voraciously, we shall certainly sleep more than required. Sense gratification ensues and we may be degraded to a lower life form. In that way, our spiritual progress may be checked, at least for the time being. The best course is to take the advice of Sri Rupa Goswami, avyartha kalatvam. We should see that every moment of our lives is utilized for the rendering of devotional service and nothing else. This is a secure position for one wanting to return home back to Godhead. Om Agyan Timirandasya Gyananjan Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamahiyam Dadati Swapadantikam. He Krishna Karna Sindhu Dinbandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kantha Hadakantha Namastite Taptakanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishbhanusde Devi Pranamami Haripriya. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advait Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namne. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaurvani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shrivadi Paschati Desha Darine. Krishna. We read verse 28 and 29. So let's read the verses. Although in the body of a deer, Bharat Maharaj, due to his rigid devotional service in his past life, could understand the cause of his birth in that body. Considering his past and present life, he constantly repented his activities, speaking in the following way. In the body of a deer, Bharat Maharaj began to lament, "What misfortune! I have fallen from the path of the self-realized. I gave up my real son's wife and home to advance in spiritual life, and I took shelter in a solitary holy place in the forest. I became self-controlled and self-realized, and I engaged constantly in devotional service, hearing, thinking, chanting, worshipping, and remembering the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva. I was successful in my attempt, so much so that my mind was always absorbed in devotional service. However, due to my personal foolishness, my mind again became attached, this time to a deer. Now I have obtained the body of a deer and have fallen far from my devotional practices." We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, sorry, 5th canto, which is entitled as the Creative Impetus, chapter number 28, which is entitled as chapter number 8.
Description of the character of
The characters,
the
what is
description
the
of
name of the chapter?
the description of the character of Bharat Maharaj.
The characteristics of the activities of Bharat Maharaj. So we are at the part of the chapter where Bharat Maharaj has already accepted the body of a deer. What was different in him accepting a body of a deer and then someone else accepting the body of a deer? What was different?
Somebody won't remember what happened in the last Janma, whereas the person who is devotee, like Bharat Maharaj, remembers about his previous life.
Yes, very nice. So he took the body of the deer, but he remembered that what made him take the body of the deer. Okay, and then it was mercy of Krishna. It was clearly a mercy of Krishna, because over here, Prabhupada is clearly mentioning it is not easy for a common man to remember the activities of his past life. So we don't remember the activities of our past life. Krishna took away the memory. Whatever Krishna takes away and gives is good for us. Okay, let's not say, okay, Krishna did wrong or right, because we cannot handle that. It was not good for our progress in spiritual life, so Krishna took it away. That's the simplest explanation of what goes and what comes in our life. If we are trying to be Krishna conscious. If we are not trying to be Krishna conscious, then the laws of karma act. Right? Something we get, something we lose. Something we get, something we lose. Because of the laws of karma. But if somebody takes to serious Krishna consciousness, then something what we get and something what we lose is only going to have one purpose, that is it going to help me to advance in Krishna consciousness or not. Something which will not help me advance in Krishna consciousness, no matter how much I want, no matter how much I will ensue, no matter how much I desire, Krishna will not give. And this is the loving hand of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because we have somewhere performed a devotional service. It could be a Gyata Sukriti as well. It could be unknown devotional service, because there is protection. Because Krishna is always on a lookout for how much are we doing for him? How much are we desiring for him? So Bharat Maharaj remembered everything. He remembered everything because he was quite advanced in his devotional service. And then he fell down. When he fell down and he remembered that how he fell down, he exactly remembers. Remember I said this particular pastime, Sukdev Goswami is explaining scene by scene by scene what is happening. Here we can see that Bharat Maharaj is exactly remember that I was Bharat Maharaj, I had sons, I had wives, I gave them up and I took to a solitary place, and I was very self-controlled, I was very self-realized, my mind was always filled with devotional service. I was always remembering, chanting, thinking, hearing about worshipping Supreme Personality of Godhead Vasudeva. But I fell down. Now, here is a difference. Okay, here is a punchline. When a devotee derails itself or herself or himself from Krishna consciousness, they don't blame Krishna for it. Okay, they don't blame. He's saying here, due to my personal foolishness, my mind again became attached. Again, which means this is a repetition. This time to a deer. And now look at me that I have become a deer. And I have, given up my devotional practices far away. So this is the best kind of repentance. This in 6th canto, is it 6th canto that Parikshit Maharaj asked Sukdev Goswami, the kind of repentance is like, okay, if somebody is trying to steal something and then they are punished by law and put behind the bar. But what happens when they come out, they start stealing again. So Parikshit Maharaj questions that this kind of repentance is really not a repentance. This kind of punishment is not helping clean the heart. Or if somebody has done some bad karma, then they counteract by doing some sacrifices. But this doesn't stop them from doing further bad karma. So Parikshit Maharaj raises this question that what kind of repentance is this? You know what kind? This is like Hasti Snan, right? That a bathing of an elephant. That elephant takes a nice long bath in the deep part of the river. And when it comes back on the shore, it takes the sand and it sprinkles all over its body again, becomes dirty again. So what is this? So this kind of a repentance that the Supreme Personality of Godhead gives from his loving hand is very good, because it actually purifies the heart. The heart becomes very purified, and we become more serious in our Krishna consciousness, that I did this. Okay, I was my own foolishness. I was supposed to be doing something else and I did this. And this time I became attached to a deer, like really. And if you remember, when he was in the pastime of Bharat Maharaj, how much was he in love with the deer? How much? How much was he in love with that deer?
He
Am I audible?
sacrificed his spiritual life for the sake of that.
What did you say?
No, how much love he has shown the deed. That is the question, Nama. Hare Krishna Mataji. So what I told is that he, for the sake of that dear love and affection, he sacrificed his spiritual life. He has fall down from material life, spiritual life to material life.
Yeah. So that's so,
Oh.
you see, actually was able to give up his something that he had given huge things up for. So he gave up sons, wife, kingdom, everything for spiritual life, and now comes deer. So he gives the spiritual life for deer. And then he gets the body of a deer. So how much, there is no comparison of what he actually gave up for Krishna consciousness. But he remembers it. It's Krishna's mercy that, okay, you fell down because you did this exactly at this particular point. Now he is more serious. Now he's repenting constantly, as we will study in the next few verses, that he's constantly repenting, that why did I lose that time? Remember when those verses when he was actually describing his feelings for the deer, I asked you what you're feeling, and some of you said we're feeling sad, we're feeling upset, right? So now he's feeling sad for himself. He's feeling sorry for himself that I did this. So Krishna rectifies his devotees like this. Okay, the material laws of nature punish. They punish. Death is a punishment. Right? Okay, we are becoming attached to something throughout our life, making a conception of something throughout the life, which is not in alignment with Krishna consciousness. There comes death, stop everything, go again. We don't remember that chapter and then start a new chapter of life. That's a punishment. And then unless and until one really comes in contact with the Krishna conscious devotee, one cannot understand that what is happening. But here we are seeing that this is actually a loving hand of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It's not like that the ordinary person has died and Bharat Maharaj has died, even though he had fallen down. It's not the same. It's not. Why? Because the next birth is not the same. Because the continuation, it's a continuation. Devotional service is a continuation, right? Prabhupada is writing that a devotee cannot forget even for a moment, and then either by remembrance or naturally he returns to the practices of devotional service. He's writing somewhere here in this purport. So in either way, we have a choice that I want to be punished at the time of my death, or I want to be thinking of the devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And even if I fall down, I will be given a good chance. The surety is there in this particular pastime. Through through Bharat Maharaj, Krishna has given us the surety that you will always be safe, right? Name bhakta pranashayati. There's a surety. But if we don't take to Krishna consciousness, there is no surety. We are very busy, very busy, very busy, very busy in doing so many things in life, so becoming, accumulating so much, making so many dreams, dressing in so many ways, exploring so many places, eating so many things, making so many friends, and then everything becomes zero. And then we don't even remember who I was and who they were. It's a dangerous. Actually, when you chant Hare Krishna, this thing becomes like, it's a dangerous life. A person who's not chanting Hare Krishna, a person who's not in Krishna consciousness will think it is a natural process. Is this a natural process? Is this a natural process? Dying again and taking birth again, dying again, taking birth again. Is it natural?
No, Mataji.
It's not natural.
No.
It's completely unnatural. Natural is Satchidananda. I'm not supposed to die. I'm supposed to be with Krishna. I'm supposed to be with those devotees who serve Krishna. I'm supposed to be like them. Right? So why not do something that will keep me back? And why not pray to the Supreme Personality of Godhead to give us that particular association and circumstances that we are engaged in devotional service. That's a very important point. It's not that just by wanting to be thinking of Krishna, we'll be able to think of Krishna. Yes, by wanting to think of Krishna, we will get some movement in our life towards Krishna. But the real way of thinking of Krishna is by engaging in his devotional service. Right? Engaging in devotional service will give us the remembrance of Krishna automatically. The devotional service is so potent. It actually frees us from all the misgivings which actually hold us back from Krishna. Yes, and it also gives us remembrance of Krishna. Okay, so now we are standing at a crux. We are standing at the intermission in our life, in human form of life, because only human form of life can get this chance that where do I want to go? Do I want to be so-called normal person of this world and dress up this way and put this or that? I'm not saying don't dress up, or I'm trying to understand the point. The point is that where is my energy? Where is my attention? I said this before, where the consciousness goes, where the attention goes. The consciousness flows where the attention goes. Yeah. The consciousness flows where the attention goes. So if my consciousness is flowing towards the attractions of this material world without Krishna, then that's where my attention is. No doubt. Okay, I could be attracted to something which is attractive in this material world, but I'm able to associate it with Krishna. Like Prabhupada was once walking on the beach. And I think it was in Los Angeles or somewhere. Like he was walking on the beach. Okay. And then he suddenly stopped and he said, it was Pacific Ocean. I don't know if Los Angeles is Pacific Ocean now, but I remember it was Pacific Ocean. And Prabhupada suddenly stopped in his morning walk and said, Pacific Ocean ki jai. The devotees couldn't understand, no? Pacific Ocean ki jai. So Krishna made such huge, huge, huge oceans. Huge. And they are supposed to stay where their boundary ends. They're not supposed to cross that boundary because Krishna has kept it like that. And they are very sincerely obeying the orders of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So they are very respectful. They are worthy of our respect. Okay, so a devotee can see everything in relation with Krishna. We can say, oh, Prabhupada was attracted to the ocean, the depth of the ocean, the width of the ocean, or whatever. But no, he was attracted to the ocean because the ocean was also a devotee, because it was obeying the orders of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That art we have to learn. And I wish we get the association of devotees. Okay. So understand that when a devotee falls, it's not ordinary. And also understand that Krishna rectifies the devotee by giving it repentance from its own heart. And that repentance not only makes one more close to Krishna, but also purifies the heart at the same time. Questions, reflections, realizations, corrections. Complaints.
That means, Mataji, one realization may be that one should not waste 1 minute also other than Krishna consciousness. Then he is likely to be in the path of Bharat Maharaj's fall. At the same time, that is such a difficult target in this present human life, not to waste 1 minute with all these entanglements. So the only way left for us is totally to be. So that is the question that comes. Because one way or other we are entangled or attached to other things when we lead our life, and parallelly we take up Krishna consciousness. That means we are prepared. It will be life after life after life only. And otherwise, any small thing can take us away from, because any moment, that particular sentence is very striking. Any particular one moment you are away, like Bharat Maharaj, you are prone to have another life.
Yes, it is. That's why Prabhupada said Krishna consciousness is like walking on the razor edge. You know, if we're not careful, then we'll get cut and there'll be pain. Yes, you're right. But you see, what is it? Krishna consciousness is difficult, but material life is impossible. Okay, and then if you take the risk for Krishna, it's a risk. If you don't take the risk of cultivating Krishna consciousness, then it is also a risk. Now, having a risk-free life is not an option, so choose your risk. Okay, or you want to have an impossible life or a difficult life. A very nice, Shivara Prabhu. Thank you for your reflection.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hi Krishna.
Mataji, whenever we are listening these types of verses, like we should not waste any moment, we should always engage in devotional service like that. Then that thought is coming in mind, like what we are doing. We are not doing anything. We are just wasting our time. We are just wasting our life. Now, Mr. Prabhuji is always calling us, like, please come here. We need devotees to maintain our temple. We should go there and spend our life there, like that coming. So I don't know whether this is a sentimental or I don't know what is like that. It is good or not.
It doesn't matter whether it is sentimental or not, but the fact that this thought is there itself is very purifying, right? It's not ordinary, right? There are 8 billion people in the world. How many are thinking like the way you're thinking? It doesn't matter whether it's sentimental or not, but the thought itself is very great. That I wish I can do like this. And then it will fructify one day. It will happen. One day it will happen that you will go. But it doesn't mean that until that happens, we are going to lead our life in remorse because I can't go because this is holding me back or that is holding me back. Says, okay, start making plans that how can I go? What is that? Kadamba Kanan Maharaj. So Kadam Kanan Maharaj blessed a newly married couple. Okay, newly married couple. He only, I think, he was at the wedding ceremony or something. He was just married, okay. They went to seek blessings from Kadam Kanan Maharaj, and Kadam Kanan Maharaj said, okay, now you can start planning for your sannyas. And the boy said, Maharaj, but I just got married, just. So Maharaj said, yes, that's how long it takes to plan. That's how long it takes to plan. It takes a long time to plan for retirement. It takes a long time to plan for sannyas. Don't think that, okay, I'll start planning for my retirement when I'm 65 years old or something. You start planning now. Okay, what are the things that I have to take care in my position at present? And let me do the best I can. And then also let me plan that how can I move forward towards the devotees, because that's where my heart is. Actually, it's a good movement. You know why? Because it helps us away from distractions. Because we're very fixed in the goal.
Yeah, and
Okay.
actually, whatever we like, that work only we will do there. Like we want devotional service, that only we'll do. And here in our material life, what we are doing, we are not liking our work. We are just doing it for the sake of the money to get maintain us, right?
Okay. Not everybody is like that. Like, some people like their work and are able to integrate Krishna consciousness in that work. Like, I know one devotee, Radhika Raman Prabhu. He's very nice. He's very young. He's very nice. He's in his 30s and he's already the head of the Department of Religion in I don't know, University of Iowa, somewhere in America. Okay, and he is one of the he's because he found his niche in Krishna consciousness. Okay, that's what I observe in all these devotees who are happy in their work and who have found a bridge, how to bridge their work in the material world and how to also find their niche in Krishna consciousness. So he is a very good teacher. So he's a very good researcher. So he's not only like excelling in his work at the university, but also is contributing a lot in Krishna consciousness educational side in our ISKCON movement. There's so many. I can give so many examples. Okay, but so there are devotees we can learn from. Urmila Mataji, she's Srila Prabhupada's disciple, recently wrote a book called Career Dharma. Okay, in that book, they actually introduce the concept of how we can actually bridge this gap of what I'm good in my devotional service to Supreme Personality of Godhead and what I'm doing right now in present in my Grahastha life, how I can bridge that gap and how I can not become frustrated with what I'm doing right now. And then I've not read the book, but I saw a little bit of a workshop. She does a lot of workshops on YouTube. If you look at Career Dharma by Urmila Devi Dasi, says, okay, you have to find your niche. What's your niche in Krishna consciousness? Are you a public speaker? Are you a public relation? Are you a writer? Are you a teacher? Are you a administrator? What are you? You like serving other orders? What are you? So, and then that's where it lies. Yes, but I'm not minimizing the fact that without the association of devotees constantly, it's not difficult. I'm not minimizing that either. It's difficult, very difficult. I understand.
Yeah, thank you very much. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. But don't hate your job. There's no need to hate your job. If you're hating your job, then there's something else. Okay, we did second fire, forest fire, and then today's pastime is Brahmanas performing the sacrifices. So they were one time Krishna and Balram and their friends were playing, and Krishna's friends got hungry, and they said, "Krishna, we are hungry. We want to eat a nice feast." Krishna said, "There's this yagya going on by the Brahmanas, and there will be nice preparations. So go and tell them Krishna has sent you. Krishna and Balram are playing, and then ask for food." So Krishna and Balram's friends, they went and they asked for food. Did they get it? From the Brahmanas, did they get it?
No, Mataji.
No, Mataji.
They didn't get it. Nobody paid any heed to Krishna's friends. And then they came back very sad that Krishna, we didn't get, even if we took your name, thought your name was a big shot. We took your name, didn't get it. Said, okay, don't worry. Now go to the Brahmanas' wives and tell them the same thing. Krishna and Balram are here. We are their friends. And we are very hungry. Can you give us some food? They went to the wives of Brahmanas. Did they get it?
Yes, Mataji. Yes.
They got it. So the wives of the Brahmanas, they gathered everything that they possibly can, and they ran to Krishna and Balram to feed them, because they were very simple. They were not dependent on these sacrifices, performances, and their conviction was fixed on Krishna. So what does it represent? It represents indifference towards Krishna caused by pride because of one's status in Varnashram. The Brahmanas thought we are very big Brahmanas and we are very good in recitation of the verses of the Vedas, and we are following a ritual. Unless and until a ritual is complete, we cannot give this food to anyone, because this is how we are supposed to do it. Because we are so big and we are brahmanas in the society, and we are supposed to lead by our example, or whatever one mind can, reason out. And here we see that the simple ladies, just because they loved Krishna Balram, that love itself was enough to move them to go to Krishna and Balram. You know that, right? The story of Krishna Balram Mandir in Vrindavan. You know the story, how we got the land? Do you know?
No,
Yeah?
Mataji. No, Mataji.
You don't know? Okay, so Krishna and Balram Mandir, Krishna Balram Mandir in Vrindavan, there was this person who had donated the land. Okay, but this person was from East India, Assam. And the land was in the wife's name. They had some problem, and they said, okay, if the problem is solved, then we will donate this land to building a temple for religious cause. Okay. So the problem was solved. Now the time came. They promised to Prabhupada, we'll donate the land. Prabhupada sent his disciples to go and get the deed transferred to their name, to the name of ISKCON. Okay, now the man started having double thoughts. He didn't want to give the land. He said, the land is in my wife's name, and she's in Assam, and I'm in Vrindavan, and it's going to take a long time. Or this or that or this, Finally, it was decided, okay, we will give you the land if we will do chits. We'll do the chits. The person, that man said to the devotees, and Prabhupada was somewhere outside. I think he was even outside India, so it was not reachable. So we will give you the land if Radharani says yes. So you have to open the chit. The chits, like they put like chits in the paper, small piece of paper, write yes, no, and all that. Yes.
Yes, Mataji.
So, like that, they said that this disciple of Prabhupada, I forgot what his name was, but that if Radharani says yes, then you will get the land. And how will you know Radharani will say yes? You have to pick up one chit from this jar, and then we have to open and see, and then that's what is the deciding factor. And then the Prabhupada disciple said, my Guru Maharaj just taught me not to gamble. This is gambling. Okay, if you can't gamble, if you can't do this, then the land is gone. So, and then he thought for a while. Okay, and Prabhupada was not reachable, and it was a time-bound decision-making press. Like he was pushed to make the decision in that particular time. And then he said he prayed to Srila Prabhupada, and then he said, okay, we'll do the chit. And then they did the chit, and then the chit came, yes, give the land. So he said, okay, Radharani is saying, give the land. So the guy had to give the land to ISKCON in Hare Krishna Balram Mandir. So that's how the land was obtained. So what I'm trying to say is that rules and regulations are good if they take us to Krishna. But if sometimes the circumstances like this arise, then you have to use your intelligence and discriminatory power. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, everyone, for your association.
Hare Krishna Mataji, same as we read about Donald Trump help ISKCON devotee organize Rath Yatra by providing his train yard for the construction of the Rath.
So he's saved from the gunshot that happened 2-3 days ago. Yeah.
Your place, kada Mataji? Peninsula.
It's 3 hours from here. Butler, Pennsylvania. Butler, Pennsylvania is where Prabhupada came first, right? It's near Pittsburgh. It's 3 hours from where I live.
Acha. Far place.
Okay,
Immediately I thought of you. How was the situation there? Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Prem Prakash Prabhu, you have to go offline. It's still online.
Oh.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.